Hey, Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the conjunction of Venus and Ketu in the natal chart. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So first of all, what do you need to interpret this conjunction? What's very important to see this in the D1 Rashi chart, to see this in your birth chart, but also to see this in the D9 Navamsa, to see the strength of this conjunction. And the final say will always be in the D60 chart. It's also extremely important to see which sign placement and house placement this conjunction is occurring in. So very important to see the element and the house of this position. Along with this, it's important to understand that some things that can change this conjunction are some additional planets along with this or planets aspecting. So what does Venus represent? Venus is all about love, enjoyment, luxury, beauty, creativity. It is a planet of childbirth, of love and relationships, of sexuality. It is also a planet that is related to all of the arts, creative talents, and it is a planet that is about the occult, mysticism, astrology, healing abilities, regeneration, and K2 is the planet that takes us out of this material world. It is all about detachment, liberation, seeking out moksha with this position. It is a very beneficial planet for our spiritual journey, but it can also cause some problems related to the material world where we can experience loss and dissatisfaction. So what happens then when Venus is conjunct with Ketu in the chart? Well, this definitely indicates that the things that are related to Venus are things that you experience in the previous lifetime, because Ketu represents what we have already achieved, what we have accomplished in the most recent past life experience. So definitely there is a past memory of enjoying the material pleasures of having relationships and enjoyment in life. And so definitely with this position, this means that you're going to seek out these things again. The problem though is that Ketu is a very perfectionistic planet, very similar to what we talked about with Rahu, where there is this illusionary shadow effect with the nodes in the chart. So this can make you a perfectionist in terms of what you're looking for in a relationship, which can cause you some dissatisfaction and disappointments. There can definitely be some letdowns where you're not able to receive the love that you're looking for in relationships. At the same time, though, if you can let go of this perfectionism and just accept the relationship as it is, you will find a lot of happiness and pleasure in relationships with this position for sure. So this is something that tends to take time to mature. Rahu and Ketu are those planets that tend to reach maturity around the 40s. So definitely towards the late 40s and onwards, there is more clarity around this area that can be seen. This placement, though, also can make you someone who's extremely intuitive. You can see through other people. You can see through situations of relationships, getting through the surface and the superficial level of things. So definitely some great insight can come with this, especially in particular placements in the chart. We'll talk about that a little bit more in this video later on, but definitely this can take you towards spirituality, towards astrology, mysticism, the occult with this conjunction. Sometimes Venus conjunct Ketu can also make you reject the things of the material world as well, particularly again after you have found out that things don't really hold up to your standard of perfection, that you're not getting that enjoyment and satisfaction. There can be a tendency to let go, to surrender some of these attachments. At the same time, if you're unable to let go of these attachments, there can be some issues of obsession, of possessiveness that can come in with this as well. Sometimes because Venus is about beauty, about fashion, there can be a tendency to just pick something that is very simple with this placement. Again, rejecting some of these attachments can be seen. There can also be some dissatisfaction with actually socializing and connecting with people in general. You might find yourself wanting to spend more time in isolation, in seclusion sometimes. Again, this depends upon where this is placed in the natal chart. Another thing that can be seen with this is that you can have a karmic connection with your partner, and Venus represents relationships in general, but specifically in a male's chart, Venus really represents the spouse. So there can be some strong karmic attachment with the spouse, as if you met them in a previous incarnation. And this can lead to a very long-lasting relationship as well. You can have a very stable and long-lasting bond with a partner, especially if this is placed in an earth sign. Sometimes, though, with this placement, you could also reject relationships as well. You can find it dissatisfying and can focus on other aspects of your life. There may be some issues with distance or separation in relationships relationships, finding it very difficult again to find that level of satisfaction. Sometimes with this placement, again, you can find yourself moving into isolation where you may need some space away from your partner at times. So there may be some arrangement in your relationship where you take that time just for yourself. Definitely there can be some issues with feelings of betrayal, of loss that can be seen sometimes with this. Again, some setbacks and disappointments that can be seen. But again, the more that you're able to surrender this, to let go of that tendency towards perfectionism or towards trying to mold the relationship how you would want it, the more that you're going to find happiness and contentment with this. It's also very important that Ketu represents spirituality. So finding a partner who shares some kind of spiritual belief with you or who is spiritual in the way that you are becomes a very important way of bonding with your partner with this conjunction as well. Another important area of this conjunction is that it's important not to be selfish or stingy when you have this, but to give back, to help out, to try to make a difference in other people's lives. This will also give you a feeling of satisfaction. Sometimes with this conjunction, you can attract a partner who brings a lot of wealth and security into your life as well. So your partner may be more in tune with the practical side of things and can help to organize and to bring things together in your life, which again can bring a feeling of stability and long-lasting satisfaction. This placement can give you great skill in research and investigation, again dealing with astrology, occult knowledge, spirituality. It can take you very deep into these subjects because Venus is all about what we're passionate about, what we enjoy doing in this lifetime. Definitely this conjunction can give strong sexual desires as well. So sometimes there's a need to control this and to learn to channel this energy into something more constructive. So definitely turning more towards spirituality or towards creative expression can be very helpful with this conjunction once again. If you have this in the first house of the chart, this is going to be very prominent. This definitely is strong in the Kendra houses. And when this is placed in the first house of the chart, this can give you a very attractive appearance. This could make you very fashionable, very stylish. With this placement, you could be very popular because of Venus being in the first house. At the same time, though, because Ketu is here, there may be some challenges with actually gaining through this. And instead, you may find that it is better to pursue your spiritual path and calling, and that will help you with your success in life. So definitely there's a balancing act here in this first house between the material and the spiritual world. If you have this place in the fourth house of the chart, this can give you all sorts of luxuries, vehicles, all sorts of comforts in life. But at the same time, the more that you are stingy or trying to hold on to things, there can be a feeling of dissatisfaction. So sharing, involving other people in some of these enjoyments can be very helpful in this area. Definitely focusing on family and close connections and being able to share will bring you a lot of happiness and satisfaction. If you have this place in the seventh house of the chart, this can also, like the first house, make you a very popular, attractive person, and you can draw in all sorts of people with this position. You could find yourself even getting into multiple relationships sometimes. With this position, because K2 is here, there is knowledge of how to deal with relationships from your past life experience. So definitely you can be very charming, very compromising, able to deal with relationships, with business dealings even. But sometimes you compromise a little bit too much, and this can bring you dissatisfaction. So definitely there's a need to not put all of your focus into relationships, but to focus on other passions that you have with this position. Really be able to spread some of your energy and focus into all aspects of life will bring you a sense of happiness. This can also be an excellent placement, once again, for doing business because of that past life experience. So this could be excellent for self-employment, for working in business partnerships, anything related to dealing with the marketplace can be excellent with this position. And this is especially true if this is aspected by a benefic such as Jupiter. K2 always functions best when it is aspected by Jupiter in the chart. If you have this in the 10th house, same thing. You want to have an aspect from Jupiter to make this stronger, but definitely this can make you very popular, very attractive in the workplace. Forming all sorts of relationships, friendships with colleagues can be seen sometimes. But with this position, there is almost a feeling of not being able to do the kind of work that gives you true fulfillment in life. So there's a need to really focus focus on what can you contribute to society? How can you give back? And this will be your key to finding happiness through your career. If you have this placed in a fire sign such as Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this is a very passionate, exciting position, which means that definitely you're going to be very passionate about relationships as well. But you also have really good intuition where you're able to understand other people and how relationships work. This can definitely help you in terms of spirituality, astrology, mysticism as well. You can make an excellent guide, teacher, counselor, someone who's able to provide wisdom to other people. This can also help you to quickly learn from your experiences in relationships as well. Definitely you gain a lot of wisdom and experience with this because of your intuition and your knowledge that you have with this conjunction. If you have this placed in an earth sign, then this is definitely going to be an area where you want to be careful of. Sometimes there can be some false promises or misleading offers from others with this position that you want to use some discernment with. But definitely this could give you a long-lasting, stable relationship because this is an earth sign. It helps to ground this conjunction for sure. The more that you are having honesty and ethical behavior in relationships, the more that there is room to have this happiness and satisfaction. If you have this placed in an air sign, then this definitely means that you're going to be very social, very popular. You could be very attractive with this conjunction as well, drawing in all sorts of people into your life, having all of these great social interactions. But sometimes because you're attracting so many people in your life, there's a need to use some discernment, similar to the earth signs, being very cautious of looking at other people and their intentions before jumping into situations. If you have this place in a water sign, then this, like the fire signs, is going to give you incredible intuition, knowledge. This can help you with occult knowledge, spirituality, mysticism with this position, especially in the sign of Pisces and Scorpio. Profound level of knowledge can be found in these signs. If you have it in Scorpio, though, there can be some relationship issues because of this intensity of Scorpio. There can be some issues with being too obsessive, possessive in this area. But the more that you surrender and let go, as mentioned earlier, the more that you will find this happiness and fulfillment in your relationships. If you have it placed in Cancer, it also can cause some issues with the relationship with the mother, with the home life, with the sense of comfort, happiness, security, because Cancer is ruled by the moon, which relates to our relationship with our mother and the things that make us feel happy and safe. So there can be an issue in this area. Sometimes there can be some separation, loss, issues in relationship with the mother, but this also makes you a very motherly person as well. You're very nurturing, very caring, very protective, providing. So the more that you give back to other people, the more that you will find a sense of peace and happiness with this conjunction. So I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, don't forget to leave a like. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.